Last night we had an event that hit virtually every part of the state, but was particularly devastating to northern Virginia and northwest Virginia. It was a line of thunderstorms that packed winds of 60 to 80 miles an hour over a very broad swath of Virginia. There are as many as 250 roads that have been partially closed as a result of trees being down. All the fatalities were due to trees falling on cars or houses. But it has been devastating in terms of the power infrastructure in Virginia. This is the largest power outage in the history of the state that was not related to a hurricane. So as a result of what's happened, I've declared a state of emergency at about 11 o'clock this morning. A number of localities, including Fairfax County, and Chairwoman Bulova is here to make some comments in a minute, has also declared a state of emergency. And that means now that around the state, shelters and cooling centers will be open, that all of the statewide emergency plan will actually kick in. I've authorized the National Guard to activate up to 300 members to be available for everything from traffic control to tree removal.
One of our biggest concerns right now has been the loss of communications, and people have been trying to use 911, have been trying to call in emergency situations, and that communication system has been down. We're working to try with Verizon to try to get that back up and running. That's a #1 priority. To make sure that we've got our communication system back in operation sufficiently so that people who need us are able to reach us. We are encouraging people who do not have electricity and who are suffering from heat situations to visit public and private spaces that are air conditioned. We also are talking about the possibility of opening some cooling centers, making more spaces available for people to be able to come to.
This is a very dangerous situation and could get worse if we have additional weather events. With all the progress that's been made with a couple 100,000 people being restored, this could get worse if we have additional severe thunderstorms tonight, tomorrow, and into the week, which is certainly possible. So this is an extraordinarily important time for our great Virginia citizens to help each other, for neighbors to help other neighbors. If you don't have power, call one of your friends or relatives that do and rely on each other. If you do have a power or generator, invite your neighbors over to cool off. But use a lot of common sense. So many of the injuries and deaths after disasters, from disasters, don't take place because of the disaster, it's afterwards. So we tell people, don't go out in the heat and overexert yourself and be chopping wood and carrying wood away and risk having a heart attack. Don't get yourself dehydrated and risk heat stroke or heat exhaustion going to an emergency room at a hospital that may already be overwhelmed with people right now. Don't risk eating food if it's been out for 2 hours. No amount of dry ice or any other kind of ice is going to keep food safe from pathogens if you leave it out for a couple of hours. And don't gut it out at home if you don't have power for a couple days. Find one of the cooling centers, go to the public, one of the public places. Everybody's doing what they can to make the situation as good as it can, but ultimately we've got 8 million people in our state that have to work together, be good neighbors, use common sense, and we'll get through this fine.